Origins of Northstar. Twin brother of Aurora, Northstar is the haughty mutant speedster affiliated with the X-Men, though he was originally a member of Alpha Flight. Jean-Paul Beaubier and his twin sister, Jean-Marie, were orphaned almost immediately after their birth when their parents were killed in a car crash. The twins were taken in by their mother's cousin, however, due to finances, they were forced to send Jean-Marie to a private Catholic school. Jean-Paul was placed in a foster home at the age of 6 when his guardians passed away, forcing him to grow up unaware that he even had a sister. During his teen years, Jean-Paul took to stealing and was eventually caught by Raymond Belmond. Some time later, Jean-Paul secretly used his mutant powers to become an Olympic world ski champion, earning him a bundle of fame and wealth. This fame brought him to the attention of James Hudson, who worked for the Canadian government, and was the founder of the team of superhumans known as Alpha Flight. Hudson had already recruited Jean-Marie, and his wife, Heather, noticed a resemblance between the two from a newspaper article about Jean-Paul. A short time later, Northstar grew severely ill, and while Alpha Flight sought a cure, the Norse god Loki appeared to Aurora and Northstar, convincing them both that they were not mutants at all, but rather half-elves. This, he said, was the reason why Northstar was dying, as he would not be able to survive without the light that the twins had once shared. Aurora willingly expended her powers to bathe Northstar in her light, finally curing him. Both of the mutants then traveled to the Elven lands, however Aurora was immediately captured by demons and became trapped in the Asgardian netherworld, while Northstar was welcomed into Asgard by his supposed brethren. Loki was summoned before the higher gods, who berated him for lying to the twins about their heritage. In order to atone for his misdeeds, Loki transported Aurora from the netherworld to the Saint Anne-de-Beaupré monastery in Quebec, but was sent to the netherworld himself as punishment. Northstar remained in Asgard until his teammates came to his rescue before he could be sacrificed by the Dark Elves who worshipped Lyn the Sorcerer. A battle with Lyn soon followed, and it was here that Northstar used his powers to restore Aurora's mutant gifts, although the twins could now create a bright light individually. Northstar was later sent on a mission by Cyclops to seek out Anoli following the schools and the X-Men's disbanding. Northstar apologized to Victor for assaulting him during his attack on the mansion when he was brainwashed. He also tried to sympathize with Victor's brooding attitude following his own violent experiences as a student and new X-Man. Anoli, still furious about the way in which both Northstar and the X-Men had used and then abandoned him along with his fellow students, told Northstar that he wanted nothing to do with the X-Men or his old teammates. Victor then punches Jean-Paul in the face before leaving his home. During the secret invasion, both Northstar and Aurora assist the X-Men when they answer Emma Frost's telepathic call for help. Although Anoli is present here, the two of them do not have a chance to speak before the event is over. After helping the X-Men during the secret invasion, Northstar seemed to enjoy a more normal lifestyle after he created his own extreme sports business alongside Aurora, making him the CEO and brand visionary of Team Northstar Extreme Snow Sports. During a snowboarding event, Northstar used his powers to break the altitude, speed, and vertical drop records for the sport. Jean-Paul also developed a romantic relationship with an, as of yet, unnamed man, and was later asked by Wolverine to rejoin the X-Men. Although hesitant about being seen as the X-Men's queer mascot, Northstar ultimately agreed after being made aware of the team's tactical need for a member with speed-based powers. Once he returned to the X-Men, Northstar assisted the team in defeating the Sisterhood of Mutants, and personally dealt with Spiral during their final confrontation at gravesite of Jean Grey. Northstar was later seen during protests that centered around the idea of mutant reproductive rights violations and helped the X-Men defeat the Avengers after they came to San Francisco to enforce Norman Osborn's curfew, which he established after branding Cyclops as an outlaw. Northstar was among the many mutants present on Utopia when Nightcrawler sacrificed his life to return to the island with Hope, the first mutant born since M-Day. Northstar comforted fellow teammate Dazzler after they discovered Nightcrawler's death and later attended his funeral. Northstar then joined a team led by Cannonball into Limbo so that they could rescue Magic, who had become trapped there by Bastion's schemes due to her position as one of the X-Men's key teleporters. Upon arrival in Limbo, Northstar scouted the area, noting that the terrain constantly changed and that if they did not hurry it would only be a matter of time before they were spotted. The team was soon separated after being attacked by a number of demons, though Northstar managed to find and assist Dazzler in battle. The two were soon attacked and subdued by Gambit, who had succumbed to his death persona. Under Gambit's control, Northstar and Dazzler attempted to defeat the rest of their teammates, but were ultimately freed after Ileana used her soul sword to subdue Gambit, once she had been freed by Pixie. With their mission complete, the team wasted no time in leaving the hellish realm of Limbo in order to return to Utopia. Curse of the Mutants. Northstar is part of an attack wave to an island populated by vampires. The goal is to retrieve Dracula's body to resurrect him. The mission is considered a failure because he was forced to stake all the vampires at superspeed to protect Dazzler, whose powers were being blocked by the vampires. Because of this, Emma is unable to read any of their minds. He is later sent in with the other X-Men for another attack. This attack is more successful as he grabs all the vampires' light-bending medallions, which was what blocked Dazzler's powers. Without them, Dazzler was able to set off a large blast of light at the vampires, killing them, as Northstar proudly shouts "Go Team Jacob," a reference to Jacob Black from Twilight. Powers. Northstar, like his sister Aurora, has complete control over the kinetic energy of the atomic motion in his body's molecules, which he can channel in a single direction. He normally uses that power to travel and fly at superhuman speeds. When concentrating, Northstar can accelerate his body to a velocity in direct proportion to the amount of kinetic energy he has tapped. It is theoretically possible for him to come close to moving at light speed, however, he would be unable to breathe and his body would suffer injuries due to the immense wind and friction. Northstar's skin is able to withstand speeds of up to at least Mach 10 without injury, as his body is made more durable due to the atomic motion he creates. Northstar also has greatly enhanced agility and reflexes, being able to dodge items and make sharp turns while moving at speeds of up to Mach 18.7. Northstar is able to perform a variety of feats such as create concussive blasts with his light-based abilities, use his atomic motion control to compensate for any disturbances in the G-force, complete complicated tasks such as reading at high speeds, run across water, create cyclones by running in circles, and move only one part of his body at superhuman speeds. An example of this would be when Northstar repeatedly strikes an opponent in only fractions of a second. This technique has been shown to hurt even the Hulk. It has been noted that Northstar is slightly faster than his sister Aurora, however she has more endurance and is able to travel longer than he can in the same amount of time. By coming into physical contact with his sister, Northstar can change the rate at which his molecules accelerate in order to let out an extremely bright burst of light. This power has been altered throughout his time with Alpha Flight thanks to genetic experiments on Aurora. However, it has currently been reverted back to its original state, with the twins having more control over the light which they generate. After their alteration by the Children of the Vault, it appears that both Northstar and Aurora have enhanced abilities. Both have demonstrated super strength, as well as the ability to cause an explosion when in contact, but the extent of these new abilities is still unknown, if they are even present at all.